Welcome to another episode of Beefy Bets. We are past the fight nights and we have a pay-per-view to break down for you, man. Me and Harrison are going to try to make you some money and make ourselves some money on this big upcoming UFC 305 pay-per-view, man. How you doing today, brother?
I'm good. I'm good, man. It's a weird week because normally, well, I guess not necessarily weird, but 2 or 3 weeks ago we talked about having one or two good, like very confident picks and a lot of ones and two stars. Well, this week I don't have many ones and two stars, and that's because I feel like I got a lot of threes, some fours, and maybe a five here or there. I mean,
I,
Tom Nolan minus
yeah,
1300 is a five. I don't feel like that's too crazy, but I wouldn't put him as a five to be honest. I'm just saying if that were to be him.
me neither. I may even have a spicy take on that one, but yeah, man. We got to go to this main event, man. We got the grudge match. We got former middleweight champ Mount Rushmore GOAT Izzy Adesanya taking on Dricus du Plessis. And Dricus du Plessis, man, he don't do it traditionally. It don't look pretty when he does it, but he just finds a way to win these fights, man. This is probably one of my least bullish takes, and I guess this is considered. I guess we got to revisit the odds here. I don't know. I'll let the cat out of the bag, man. I'm rolling with Izzy, man. I'm rolling with Izzy. I like the reach advantage. I I think better wrestlers than Dricus have tried to take down Izzy and failed. Sean was able to basically do the same thing to Izzy that he, a lot of ways did to Dricus, and I don't think Dricus is able to like replicate that Strickland style. Even when Strickland and Dricus fought, it was Sean with the pressure and volume versus Dricus. It was kind of a quality versus quantity debate, and pressure. So it's like, do I think this is capable of doing to Izzy of what Sean did to Izzy? Short story long, I'm gonna say no. Just stylistically, I mean, it's not impossible, but like, I don't think he has that Peloton one-shot power, and I don't think he's gonna be able to out wrestle him. I'll turn the floor over to you, though, man. How do you see this one going?
Well, I will. I want to lead with this because you just touched on it. Poeton has one shot power for everybody on Earth but Izzy. Izzy's never been set down by one shot by Poeton. In fact, he got standing KO'd and was viciously getting hit and didn't go down. Izzy's got a
Yeah,
crazy chin. Maybe the craziest chin
yeah.
I've ever seen, now after seeing Poeton floor every single person in front of him for the rest of ever, and Izzy eating them standing. Twice. So,
Yeah,
I,
good point.
that chin is crazy. So I think Dricus's power out the window. Doesn't matter. Dricus's volume. He's not really a volume striker. He's kind of a quality quantity combo striker, right? Like he does a little bit of both. He gives you some quantity, but mostly it's quality with like a nice. He does throw in big combination, but I think that's to his detriment here. Izzy is such a good counter striker and such a good quality striker that if you're going to try to go tit for tat with him, you will lose that unless you're Alex Pereira. It's the only guy I've ever seen just outstrike him, literally chess match style.
Exactly, and then when Strickland beat Izzy, it was kind of death by a thousand cuts, just pressure and
It's
volume for days, and
it's volume and pressure. Which Dricus has the pressure, he doesn't have the volume. Which Romero's the same way, or not Romero. I'm sorry, Whitaker. Whitaker's the same way. He doesn't have that same volume, but he has the same pressure. What happened to Whitaker? He got viciously countered.
yeah, he did, and yeah, man. Like I said, I like Izzy's reach advantage because that's another thing too. You think about the Dricus
Four
Sean
inches,
fight.
4 inches,
What
and
is that?
Izzy's a master of using it.
Like, what is that fight? That fight was razor close. What if Sean had a 4 inch reach advantage? It wouldn't have been razor close. It would have been an ass whooping.
Agreed.
Um,
Couldn't agree more. In
yeah,
fact, Sean was having trouble getting inside, like with the amount that Dricus was throwing that big volume outside, like the big power from the outside, which
what
Izzy's going to slide that and counter back, I guarantee. I really like Izzy here. He's minus 115. I have him as 2 stars, but I just saw the odds. I almost want to put him at 3 because minus 115 feels like stealing.
as one? You talked me into a 2 star. You talked me into a second
I'll
star.
probably
I
hold
don't
it at
know.
2. I don't know if I'll go
Yeah.
3, but I'm just saying that, like, at minus 115, I might just straight bet him.
Yeah, and if we do throw him on a parlay, like that's a great number to have on your parlay. So we will get to that one. I will say the only kind of cause for pause here is I've lost a decent amount of money betting against Duplessis. I think I've bet against him a couple times now, and he's made me look silly on both of them. Not really the Sean one.
You know what I think is crazy here looking at the odds? If you go Izzy by decision, plus 200 or plus 225, depending on where you're looking. Drickus, same way, plus 400. Now, if you go to KO TKO, they're both plus 300. I think Izzy is way more live to KO Drickus than Drickus to KO Izzy, specifically for the first reason I mentioned. No one has Poeton power, and that Poeton power wasn't enough to even put Izzy down.
Yeah, I see the method of victory on this one seems murky to me because I don't know. Izzy says he's going to finish him.
I can see Izzy finishing him with a counter shot. And
he talks about like contender Izzy, like hungry Izzy on the hunt, as opposed to being the hunted. I just like, man, I think I'm still scarred from that Cannonier fight.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Just before you go into that point, how did Izzy look? I'm going to name 3 fights, and you tell me the Izzy we got. Poeton rematch, fight against Kelvin Gastelum, and what's the other one? Might just be those 2 that I'm thinking of, but those are both the times that he didn't have the belt. And look at the Izzy we got. A literal, like, warrior dog soldier to the death. I'm betting on that Izzy, and I think we're getting that Izzy.
I feel it. I can't make up my mind on Izzy by decision and Izzy by KO. Here, let's go to the stats real quick, and then we'll keep him pushing to the co-main. But, it's worth spending a little bit of time on our main event.
Yeah, no, 100% agree with that. But I'm just saying at minus 115, it's so worth it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, my point is at minus 115, I may not need to hunt value on method of victory.
That's what I mean. You can just take it almost as a straight. Like, just, hey, I'll put 20 to 120.
For sure. Listen, by the numbers real quick, Jenkins has never lost a decision, although Strickland fans would argue that he has. He has one KO loss, and like I said, the questionable decision against Strickland. Izzy, on the other hand, 67% of his wins by KO, only 33% by decision. The numbers lean by KO more so than by decision. He has 5 rounds to get it done. There's some other props I like, but I think if I have to pick an Izzy prop, I think I'm going to roll with the juice on the Izzy by KO 300.
I would too. Also for the other reason that Drickus got finished that KO loss he has to Robert Soldich in 2018. Soldich, a very good fighter, in fact, though. But it was late in the 3rd round. Like, I think this is a 5-round fight. If the accumulation damage he's going to eat from counters throughout the fight, like if they make it to round 5, I could see an early round 5 finish. 1.5, 2 minutes in.
Yeah, maybe like some kind of like doctor stoppage, you get a bad cut opened up or something.
Or just like him just literally being on death's door going into the round and, Izzy putting the nail in the coffin.
And then I'll put a bow on this conversation real quick. We talk about every year on Chin of the Year. Like, what does that even mean? Like, is it the guys that can take a bunch of hits and don't show damage? Or is it the guys that show damage and fight through it? Jenkins is one of those guys who, like, he swells up. Like, his face shows a lot of damage. Like, certain guys.
He looks awful when he gets hit. After the Sean fight, he definitely looked like he lost.
Exactly. So that's what, like, when you talk about doctor stoppages, accumulation damage, something to think about with just how Jenkins' face wears damage. Something to consider there. But we're both rolling with Izzy 2 stars. Gun to our head, by KO if we had to pick a method. Like, I'll probably pick KO on verdict.
Yes, sir.
We'll see how I like it compared to. There's some other props I really like on here. Man, co-main event, we got Steve Erceg, Kai Kara France. I got a bullish take on this one, but before I let my cat out of the bag, I'll turn the floor over to you. How are you feeling on this one?
Man, I don't know. Now you got me nervous because I have Erceg 3 stars, man. I mean, I know he's minus 170, but I think he's about to work Kai Kara France. Like, I think he does everything that Kai Kara France tries to do a lot better.
Oh, yeah. I said bullish take, not hot take. I'm rolling Erceg 4 stars. That's what I mean by bullish.
I like that. I like that. That makes me feel a lot better about it. And at minus 170, he will be on the parlay.
Bro, whenever it's parlay wet dream material. Minus 170 on a
I
4
know.
star.
I know.
I mean, 3 stars on you, 4 stars by me. Either way, that's bullish. That's hammered down territory. And yeah, love the number. And just like, man, every time Kai France has reached the top of the mountain, he's failed. Brandon Moreno.
Couldn't agree more.
You could argue Albazi, he won. We thought he won that, but I don't think Albazi's the top of the top.
Bro, and he always fails in tremendous fashion, too. Like, the body kick getting finished by Moreno, I bet on him that fight, too. Like, the way France loses is always just, like, disappointing heartbreak from him literally just, like, fighting too aggressively and being dumb in certain moments. And, like, Erceg's never stupid, and he's never over-aggressive.
Yeah, and like on the flip side, when Erceg got his shot at the very top, like I'm pretty damn sure I scored it for him. Like you could argue he beat Pantoja.
Very close.
So like I just think like Kai France kind of shits the bed in these big moments, and Erceg's cool as a fucking cucumber. I love the size. Kai France is a small even for flyweight. Erceg's about huge. As big. Yeah, about as big as you can get at flyweight.
Erceg, good takedown defense. Actually, super good on the ground, if you recall. Like has really good like guard play and such. Like was contending with Pantoja, no problems. Like I don't think France can do that. With it? I think Erceg. No. I think Erceg maybe better every facet of the fight here, including power and speed.
Well, I was about to say Kai France, known as a power striker, Erceg's got better power. Like he's better at what Kai France is good at. He's better at what Kai France is bad at. Like I can't believe we're getting this number, bro. I think people are not riding Kai France.
I think the main event and co-main event are both incredibly priced for the sides I'm on.
Yeah, I'll say more so. Or like also, need I remind you, in my personal power rankings, as a guy who scored the Erceg Pantoja fight for Erceg, I have Erceg power rank 1.
It's not crazy. It's not crazy.
And then call me a hater, maybe. I know some people might. I have Kai France power rank 10. I'm not just as high.
I am pretty out on Car France as well. So
yeah, and then also just one quick last point, and then we can kind of keep it moving here. Kai France coming off like an over a year layoff. Like he has not been active. He's coming off a big layoff. Kind of cried in his Cheerios about that Albazi decision, I think. And
I think big layoffs are going to be a story of this card going down as well. There's a few other fighters coming up that have had big layoffs that I'm fading for that reason.
For sure, man. Now, keep it pushing here. We got Gamrot versus Hooker. I got Gamrot power rank 5th, Hooker power rank 13th. You can see where I'm going on this one. I got Gamrot 3 stars.
Me too.
What's the number sitting at?
Minus 350. So could be a 4th leg.
Parlayable. Parlayable for sure.
Yeah, like feel very confident in him winning this fight as well. Like he has a very good chin, so Hooker's not going to one-shot starch him. Like, I've seen Gamrot get touched up by very hard strikers and survive it. And then guess what he does? Grapples him to the ground and beats him up grappling. And has good ground and pound while he's grappling, wins every transition. He's a fucking freak. I'll be honest. I scored the fight for him over Sarukian. I thought he got robbed there. If he wins that fight, he's where Sarukian is now, about to get a title shot. So in my mind, Gamrot's way closer to the top than he is the bottom of the top 5. If I'm just saying, like, matchups, given fight.
Well,
whereas Hooker, outside the top 10, and that's not even a question.
1,000%, bro. Like
we're talking about 2 tiers apart here in my rankings. So for me, this is like a pretty like locked up Gamrot. It could be 4 stars. I'm putting 3 on it because I got respect for Dan Hooker.
Yeah, everything you just said, and Gamrot. Just his snoozy style. I can see maybe if Hooker like gets a cut, but then gets taken down. Maybe he steals the round on a scorecard. Like just because Gamrot's so snoozy, weird shit like that. But I actually at minus 350. I think this is fully parlayable. And
I think Gamrot I thought by sub might be super live here.
By decision's minus 140. So Vegas likes it by decision, and I was thinking about parlaying Gamrot by decision with another one that I like that I haven't got to yet on a little prop parlay. I've been liking those little 2-leg prop parlays. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to do Gamrot by decision. I understand your logic for Gamrot by sub. Like I could see, him being in dominant positions
You
and
know what?
Hooker making a mistake. But
Nah, his only UFC sub is Jeremy Stevens in 2021. I'm on that take. Let's see what this decision number is. I'm back in on the decision take.
yesterday it was minus 140. I could see it maybe moving a little bit.
Let's see. Gamrot by decision minus 150.
Minus 150. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to throw it on a two-legger with another one that's not very juicy, but I'm also very bullish on that we will get to shortly. So, yeah, I love Gamrot by decision. I love Gamrot money line. I like Dan Hooker as a guy. The new tats look sweet. Gamrot, Gamrot's a motherfucker, man, for sure. We can keep it pushing here to the heavyweights, which I'm pretty sure we're both going to feel similar about this one.
Oh, I
We got
mean,
Rozenstruik over Tuivasa. And I just say over because I'm picking Rozenstruik. Last time I checked, the money line was minus 220. Is that accurate still?
I do believe that is correct. We got Jairzinho Rozenstruik minus 220, Tai Tuivasa plus 180. I feel bad for doing this. I know I just struggled to say it. I got Rozenstruik 4 stars. This is a matchup nightmare for Tai Tuivasa.
Ooh.
And he's fucking out on fighting.
Well, I will add my second star for sure then. I'll say this. Yeah, Tuivasa finished 4 times in a row. That's brutal. How many fighters come back from that? You're on some Tony Ferguson shit.
Bro, the Tybura loss by finish that's really poorly. Tough. That's really tough.
And we talked about it on previous podcasts. We'll touch on it here. Tuivasa just seems like he's like kind of quasi-retired. He has the weed brand. He has the brewery. He has the shoey business. He lives in Dubai. Like, I don't know how locked in he ever really was on being a fighter, quite frankly, but much less. And now he's got a little bit of coin in his pocket. And did you watch the Embedded episode with him and Jairzinho? I know this isn't the end-all, be-all, but I want to bring it to the show because I was like, oh, fuck that. I made up my mind right then and there on the Embedded who I was betting on. Because, like, Rozenstruik, they show him, he's got this new striking coach. He's looking lean. The whole footage is him, like, training, like, pretty hard, looking sharp. They show Tuivasa. He's at the couch. I don't think he's drinking a beer, but he's, like, big chilling, watching rugby. Like with this coach, just with his boys on the couch, just like that's literally like that was the Embedded episode. Like Rozenstruik was fucking getting after it, and Tuivasa was like, "Oh, this is a good match here on the rugby game." So, yeah, man, I just mentality wise, and then X's and O's, Rozenstruik's gonna have the faster hands, the better kicks, better footwork. I don't think usually you can say power advantage to Tuivasa, but I think that's kind of hard to say against Rozenstruik.
I will say power advantage to Tuivasa, but I will caveat it by saying that both guys have above average power at heavyweight, which would mean that like it doesn't matter. Like there's a certain line that it's like once you have one punch knockout power, it doesn't matter who's more powerful. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're in Ngannou level, which is like half clipping a punch and still having enough power. But no one has that besides him that we've seen. So like suffice to say, yeah, I think power here is a wash just because they both have the one strike power. I think the real deal is that Rozenstruik, I mean, is Tuivasa going to shoot a takedown?
No.
Well,
takes too much energy.
Well, who's the fucking K1 like technical champion striker? Rozenstruik.
Well, and we've seen guys destroy Tuivasa with kicks. I think it was Cyril Gahn, and he's not the only one, but Tuivasa, he's too doughy in the middle to eat body kicks. I don't think he's really like reactionary enough to check leg kicks. I can see. I hope Rozenstruik takes like a kick heavy approach, and that'll kind of keep him out of Tuivasa's boxing range as well.
Well, not to mention but yeah, like lifestyle choices, like obviously, but then also I just want to bring to the attention of people that are like Rozenstruik. You might be low on because he's 3-4 in his last 7 or 4-5 in his last 9. But dude,
still better than Tuivasa.
But those 5 losses are Ngannou, Cyril Gahn, Curtis Blades, Volkov, and Almeida. Almeida, a terrible matchup, but like the other 4 are literally the 4 of the top 5 in the world. So like,
he took on to a decision, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Which, so if you want to do MMA math, common opponent, like he performed way better against Gon than Tuivasa did.
And took Blades to a decision.
Yeah,
Or rather, Blades took him to a decision.
Yeah, true.
By snoozing.
But either way, man, like when Tuivasa faces those top guys, he crumbles. So
I agree. And like, I'm just saying, man, like, if I'm thinking about like Augusto Sakai in 2021, Rozenstruik finished him. That seems a lot like where I'd put Tuivasa right now. Is kind of the same level as Sakai then. I just love Rozenstruik in this matchup, man. It's a guy that's not going to shoot takedowns, a guy that is going to depend on his chin. I hate that against a technical champion striker like Rozenstruik. That's why I have him 4 stars. I know you have it too. We can keep it pushing though if you want.
Real quick though, what's the Rozenstruik by KO number? Just out of curiosity.
Oh yeah. I meant to look this up because I think this fight is under 1.5 is minus 220. I'm tempted to bet the over.
What's the KO?
I'm just saying Tuivasa has a good chin. He gets sub, has a good chin. Rozenstruik,
but bad cardio.
Rozenstruik KO minus 150. So Vegas is the same way as I do.
But you parlay that with a Gamrot by decision, and you might be cooking with gas.
Yeah, I'll come back to it, but
yeah. We'll keep it pushing.
Well, no, I just mean that like minus 220. Once again, it's like the Izzy thing. Like I love it for a parlay. Like lock me in just in case Tuivasa somehow survives. Actually, you know what? Fuck that. There's no way he won't. He'll go out on his shield. He will. Tuivasa will choose to not go to decision before Rozenstruik will choose to end it, if that makes sense.
Well, and that's my point why I like the KO more than the under. A, get better value, and B, I can see the KO coming like early in the third or late in the second once Tuivasa is tired and starts thinking about drinking weak beers. And you know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying is like if it comes at 3.5 minutes of round 2, that's over 1.5, so you're getting plus 180 on that.
Yeah,
it's tempting, but I don't like it because the risk is too high.
No, and I see how you arrived there, but man, I got some spiciness for you on this next one, brother. I do, man. Go ahead and introduce it.
All right, so in this next one we got, oh god, I gotta get up Rozenstruik's page here. Next one we got Carlos Prates minus 390 taking on Jingliang plus 290. What do you got for me? Because originally I have this as a Prates 1 star. Just because I like Jingliang, like skill set wise. However, he hurt his back and has been out for so long, and a back injury and his age. I don't love like the actual physical human qualities of what he's experienced in the last 18 months. Well, what are you seeing?
I like 1 star, but at plus 290, it might get a sprinkle from me, and here's why. I did forget about the back injury, and I'm glad you brought that information to the program. But, like, Jingliang has basically, I know it doesn't seem like it in perception, he has basically the same record as Carlos Prates. Carlos Prates is really hyped right now, but he's not a perfect fighter. He's 19-6. And
he has a loss to a guy that's 9-10. Prates has a crazy garbage loss.
And Prates is the guy that be smoking cigs and shit.
I love him for that, though.
Oh, no, it's fucking rad. I'm just saying.
Bro, his win over Radke was nice, though. Like, he looked good in that fight.
I'm just saying, like, Radke is basically a can, or at the very least.
I love Chuck Buff.
Come on, you don't love him in your top 50. Let's be real. And then.
He's close.
He's close. Yeah, he's really 56. Cracking that top 56 rating. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wait, do you have him at 56?
I'm over here making bold claims here against old Chuck Buffalo. I got him at...
I'm dying.
49. So, but I'm saying...
Top 50.
All right. I do have him top 50. I'm just saying, like, level of competition, Trevin Giles and Charles Radke. Like, I think Jingliang would look pretty fucking good against those guys, too. Jingliang, on the other hand, has been fighting D-Rod, where he got robbed. Muslim Salikov. Muslim Salikov is better than anybody Prates has fought and probably would give Prates some trouble. Jingliang finished him in the second round.
Yeah,
Hamzat.
yeah.
Hamzat, and then even Ponzinibbio. Ponzinibbio is for sure better than anybody
That's your
that
best
Prates has
argument
fought.
because Ponzinibbio and Prates fight very similar. Like that's where I'll hear this point very, very highly.
And then even like Elise, going back to 2019, but Elizio Zaleski got the finish over him too. So like,
How did he win over Ponzinibbio?
Ponzi, first round KO left hook. Like, I think Jingliang money line's worth a sprinkle here. I just, like I said, I mean, you said Prates 1-star. That's why I got excited because I thought I was going to come in here. I thought you were going to have Prates 4 stars, and I was going to be Spice Take McGee. But when you said Prates 1-star, I'm like, okay, like maybe I'm not crazy here. Like maybe, and then power rankings wise, got Jingliang at 19, Prates at 27. So I'm gonna just trust in my power rankings here, trust in the level of competition. Jingliang's age is kind of concerning,
and the back injury. The back injury sucks. That's the one thing. But I will say at plus 290, I don't have another dog that I'm gonna pick to like ruin my picks for the rest of the card. Anyone that looks at the odds could then figure them out. But I don't have a dog. I really don't. Izzy was the closest thing I had, so I will take Jingliang. Yeah. It's probably the closest for the best value.
Yeah, exactly. Like, gun to my head, I'd probably pick Prates, but you factor in that plus 290. Like I said, I would have this probably Prates like minus 135 just because of the age. And you're telling me I get plus 290 on the other side? Just kind of, just value-wise and live dog, I kind of like Jingliang here. And like I said, Prates is very hyped. He's swinging a hot bat, but he's not Shavkat. He's not like this perfect fighter. Like he has flaws, and he is unproven, I would say.
I could also, I'm just saying, if you had a bankroll here for this, then you should just you would hedge it with the Prates KO minus 110. So, because if Prates wins, it's gonna be by KO.
It's gonna be by KO, yeah, for sure, and he's favored to win. So. Yeah, like I said, I've been coming with some kind of vanilla takes the past couple of weeks here, but plus 290 dog for you. How's them apples, Minty Bets?
Wait a minute. Jingliang's never been TKO'd in his career.
Really?
He's 10-0 by KO TKO. He's lost 6 decisions and 2 subs. And one of those subs is fucking Hamzat.
He's a live dog.
That's
He's
a
live dog.
Super live dog. All right, I'm in. That's gonna be my dog of the week because that's worth it. You talked me into it. Fuck it. I'll say I'm Prates 1-star, but I'm gonna bet money on Jingliang. So take that however you guys want at home.
Sprinky sprink.
Yeah. Gotta get sprinklers in the backyard. Gotta sprinklers in my wallet.
Exactly, man. Now. Up next, man, I'm going back-to-back dogs here, man. I get on these heavyweights. We got Walter Walker and is it Junior Tafa or Justin Tafa, or does it even fucking matter?
It does not matter whatsoever.
Basically the same guy. I've never seen him in the same room, but I mean, bro, barely counts as a dog. But what's the money line? Last time I looked, Walker was at plus 115.
Walker plus 105, so money coming in on him.
And I think for good reason, bro. Granted, last time I bet money on Walter Walker, I lost. So it doesn't make me super, itchy to pull the trigger here. But I do. So kind of a technicality here. I have this koozie versus can, but I have Walter Walker at the very bottom of my koozie tier. Literally one spot out of can tier. So take that maybe with a grain of salt. But I do have koozie versus can. I think Tafa is like an actual can. Walter Walker here, plus 105. If you called me crazy or looked at me sideways for my Jingliang take, I was going to nominate this for a dog of the week. But I don't know. How are you feeling about this fight? How are you feeling about this fight?
Absolute no bet. Both these guys are so not trustworthy, not even accountable to show up on a given night. I have no idea which Junior Tafa's showing up. I have no idea which Walter Walker's showing up. I don't know if Walter Walker's going to try to wrestle or knock him out. I know Junior Tafa's going to try to box and have no takedown defense. Fuck this fight. It's a no bet for me. You can't talk me into either because I could not be talked into believing in either guy.
Wow. Okay. No, and maybe that's smart because, like I said, I didn't feel great about betting on Walter Walker. I had a 1 star for what it's worth.
Bro, you know what's crazy about this fight? This is a fight where I should be telling you both these guys don't belong in the UFC. This should be an under. But fucking Walker took Brzeski to a decision and lost trying to wrestle him for 15 minutes.
Because I lost money on that.
So like, I can't even go over-unders on this fight. Like, fuck this fight. I wanted to bet something on this fight. I promise you I did. And like the over 1.5, I promise I did. The over 1.5 is minus 160, under 1.5 plus 120. Like, Vegas is as up in the air as I am. They have no fucking idea. So they just set a close line and said, let the public figure it out. The public...
Dog shit heavyweight fight. It really is.
The public has not bet this line at all. On FanDuel, on Betway...
Nobody's touching it.
Bet Rivers, literally not one of them's moved. Like, they've all opened it, and no one's betting over under on this fight. And it's the same for the... Let's see what the money line is. Walter Walker opened as the favorite and is now the dog.
Wow, money's coming in on Tafa. That's that casual Buffalo Wild Wings money, though, where it's like, oh, this guy cracks. Like, this guy.
Well, also, I think if it was Justin Tafa, I would bet on him. But it's Junior Tafa. But if you go to the betting window and say, see Jay Tafa, like, you know, so you got a couple drinks, you're like, oh, it's Justin Tafa. You just fucking bet it. I can see it.
I can see myself or you doing that, you know, at the Peppermint, a couple drinks. And
I'm just saying, like, you see Junior and Justin, it's J.U. Tafa. I don't fucking know the last 4 letters. Stin, Nior, I don't know.
You know, I feel it. Yeah, man. All right. So I like their perspective on that one. That is kind of a dog shit fight, and I'm glad we have a better dog. We're riding that Jingliang dog of the week, baby, because that was my only other dog. So looks like Jingliang is going to be that dog of the week.
Yeah, and also the return on Walker isn't great. And I've thought about something. I crunched the numbers on it. We typically bet dogs that are close to even or like slightly out of even. Yeah. I think we got to start hunting these fat dogs because we do not cash when we bet close dogs. We don't. We always lose the close ones.
When it's like if we're only going to hit 1 out of every 5 dogs,
might as well get a plus 300.
Might as well try to get our lick back. No, for sure, brother. I actually like that strategy as well. Cool, man. Let's keep it pushing here. We got Josh Culibao and Ricardo Ramos. This is one where I see some value on the Culibao side. Last time I checked,
I'm glad
it was minus 140. Is it still minus 140 Culibao?
It is minus 155. So money is starting to come in, but I see great value here. I have Culibao 3 stars, and I think I have to put him on the parlay.
You know what? That's interesting. I had him too, but I almost like talked to myself down because listen to this power rankings gap, bro. I mean, I have Culibao 36 and Ramos 53. So that sounds like a 3-star to me. And if you're going 3 stars, I'll ride it with you. I think I was kind of pussyfooting around.
Dude, it's just that, like, yes, Culibao has fallen on some slightly tough times recently. But, dude, he's a good fighter. Like, I love Leron Murphy. And that fight to D. Silva was fucking close.
So close. And this is something that, like, this is part of help factor into my decision here. So both of these fighters are on 2 L streaks, right? First off, taking Leron Murphy to decision is nothing to hang your head about. And then the other one was a split decision, as you mentioned, of Danny Silva. Well, on the flip side,
it was Danny Silva. Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Ramos got finished in the first round by Charles Jourdain, who we're kind of out on, and got finished in the first round by Juicy J.E. Rosa, who we're kind of out on. So if you want to talk about quality of losses, one guy is taking really good fighters to decisions, and the other guy's getting finished by, like, unranked mid-tier guys. So, I mean, I'm pretty goddamn bullish on Culibao. And, yeah, I'm super stoked that you got me to add that 3rd star. And you're right, at minus 155, that's parlay wet dream. I mean, having Erceg and Culibao on a parlay, we could probably have, like, a juicy 3-legger this week that actually has a nice return.
No, I fully agree with you. And also, if you look at Ramos's, like, record in the UFC, he's 1-2 in submissions in the UFC. He's 7-3 in his career. So, like, you might think he's a submission artist, but once he faced good grapplers and complete fighters, he can't get a sub to save his life. He's not going to outstrike Josh Culibao. I guarantee you that. I love Culibao here.
Yeah, no, I do too, man. And yeah, and then you look at Ramos's wins, and I mean, Bill Algio's his best win. And you want to do MMA math? He got finished in the first round by Leroy Murphy by knockout. So the same guy that Culibao took the decision. So yeah, I mean, all signs point to Culibao, and I'm here for it. And I'm definitely going to have Culibao in that parlay for sure, brother. Man, what
do you
anything else you want to?
Yeah, no. So the over 2.5 minus 130 right now. I kind of like Culibao by decision plus 215.
I don't know, bro.
It's kind of too risky, but I like the number.
I'd like to ask you to look up Culibao by KO because Ramos be finding a way out of there, bro. Ramos be getting finished.
Culibao by KO plus 275. Culibao by submission plus 700. It's one of the few times I would be okay riding a plus 700 sprinkle, only because Ramos has lost his last two by sub, and it's almost like if he just gets dropped to the floor, does Culibao not just choke him out?
Hey, hold your horses, brother. I got a buy submission plus 650 coming up for you.
Okay,
that might get you.
All
that
right.
might get you 6 to midnight. I got.
I'm riding my high horse.
Tuck it in the waistband, brother. I got one for you. But yeah, man. Actually, it's this next one, brother. We got Luana Santos taking on King Casey O'Neill.
I'm getting, bro. If you say O'Neill by sub, I'll be mad.
No. Santos by sub.
Yeah, okay.
Last time I checked was like plus 650.
How would that be possible? That has to be.
Did I read it wrong? Look up Santos by sub.
Let's see. Luana Santos by submission plus 650.
I think they just think that it's going to go to a decision because it's a woman's fight.
I think plus 500 is what it said at Caesars. Yeah, plus 500 at Caesars.
I mean, hey, he's still like I love that. You start breaking this down. Let's look
so
at
Santos by decision plus 140, Santos by sub plus 500.
I like Santos by sub here, and let's get to why I feel that way. So Santos
because of the Ariane Lipski sub.
The Ariane Lipski sub and Santos 50% of her wins come by sub.
That's a good point.
Let's see here. O'Neill only has 2 losses. One of them is by sub to a Brazilian girl, Ariane Lipski, as you just mentioned.
And it was an armbar early second round, and she was the favorite in that fight, and she was getting outstruck, and she only got taken down that one time in that round, controlled for 58 seconds and sub. So she got taken down 28 seconds into the round and subbed in under a minute.
And like O'Neill likes to grapple, like she does. Like I don't think she's going to try to slug it out on the feet. So I think she's going to engage in these grappling scenarios. And I think I like I said, and this comes from a guy, like I get it. I'm a guy who will bet when I'm searching for a prop and I'm thirsty for a prop, bet the women's fight to go to decision. Like I've been there, done that. And so like I know a lot of people don't like betting like women's finishes. At plus 500, plus 650, whatever number you can find it at, it's juicy enough to get a sprinkle from me. So Santos, I like her. And what's the money line now? Last time I checked, it was Santos minus 150.
Minus 140. So somehow some money is coming on O'Neill. I actually like the money line too. I have it as 2 stars. Probably could be talked into 3. I could be talked in. But I like the value on the sub so much. Like if Santos
is going to win, juicy, right?
It's decision or sub, and it's like I'll ride the sub for plus 500. Like if it was plus 250, nah. But plus 500, yeah, give it to me.
Hey, I'm glad you feel the same way about that. I had to do a double take myself. I was like, what do you mean? Like why that seems like. Yeah, Vegas is just counting on the women's fight going to decision, and hey, maybe it does. But at plus 500 for 1 unit sprinkle, I don't think I'd have any regrets.
Yeah, nor would I.
But yeah, I like Santos there. I like Santos in general. I mean, I have Santos power ranked at 14, and I have O'Neill power ranked at 23. I mean, she had the injury, the time off. that didn't look great when she came back from that injury.
I feel like she's been fraud checked and leveled a couple times, and like never used that phrase before, but like she's been leveled. Like we know her level. Like I think she is a edge of top 20 fighter. Like I think she could be 22, 23. I think she'd be 18, 17. But that's not really where Santos is.
Yeah, hear me out. So like O'Neal beats the Antonina Shevchenkos and the Roxanne Modafferi's of the world, but loses to the Jennifer Mayas and Ariane Lipskis of the world. I think Santos is at, or most likely, in my opinion, higher of a level than Lipski. And you can debate Maya. I mean, she's basically retired now. But at that time, whenever she fought Maya was like, at a pretty high level, top 10 girl.
I think
Santos is closer to that than she is at Antonina Shevchenko. Is my greater point.
Oh, I fully agree with you. And then, I mean, if we're looking for Luana Santos's loss, it's not in the UFC, so it's not like we've seen her lose. Obviously, not quality wins. However, I will say that we cashed on her last time, and I'm going to ride her again just for that. Because if you remember, this was me talking about drug addict Agapova getting subbed instantly. And guess what? That is exactly what happened.
That was 1 month ago to the day. Quick turnaround, too. So she's going to be in shape.
She took no damage. She fucking just bent a girl over and subbed her out. It was great.
And, hey, who ain't trying to see that
That sounded bad.
And so is this going to sound bad? Who ain't trying to see that Luana Santos post-fight selling?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Let's cash that ticket. Let's go. Hey, how about this? Santos by sub cashes. We got to do a video doing the Luana Santos dance.
I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
Hey, let's lock that in. That'll be fun. But, yeah, all right. Well, let's keep it pushing to one with absolutely no value and maybe some of the worst matchmaking I have ever seen. This is straight punishment for Herbert Burns. You got the prospect that we've been super high on for a while, but's had a few injuries, hasn't really gotten a chance to take that next step, which is another reason why I hate this matchmaking, is we have Jack Jenkins taking on Herbert Burns. And the thing is, I want to see Jack Jenkins. I'm a Jack Jenkins believer. I think he's a top 25 guy in an ultra-deep division. But I can't really have my take validated if he keeps fighting the Herbert Burnses of the world. I need to see him in there with a Sean Woodson, with a fucking Chepe Mariscal, with that next caliber of guy. I think he's that caliber of guy. And nothing gets proven when he undoubtedly finishes Herbert Burns. Like, that is a lock. It's so much of a lock that last time I checked, and it's probably gotten worse since then, Jenkins by KO was minus 230.
It's minus 250 right now.
Oh, God damn it. That's really bad. I don't even know if I can parlay that.
Now, let me get you some value here. The only value on this fight. Because
this is 5-star, right? 5-star has to be.
Has to be, but like that. This is the one I was talking about, where I was like, it's 5 stars, but like, it's not worth betting. But I will say, over 1.5. Hear me out. Minus 110. I like the over 1.5 finish because Jack Jenkins' leg kicker, accumulation, not really one strike, finish it out damage. I like him to beat up Burns in round 1, Burns to quit 1 minute through round 2, and get finished shortly thereafter, but hopefully survive 90 seconds.
You know what? I like that more than the Jack, because at first I was going to do Jenkins by KO parlay with Gamrot by decision. That was going to be my prop parlay, but I think I replaced it with Rozenstruik by KO at minus 150, way better price.
Yep.
So I no longer really have need for the Jenkins by KO for the prop parlay. So you know what? For that reason, you said Jenkins 1.5 is at minus 110.
Yep, minus 110 up to plus 105, depending on where you're getting it. So
I can't do minus 250 on a prop. Prop.
That's too much. That's too much.
I'm not that guy. Like, that's not my betting strategy. So I mean, I think it is for sure going to happen because you have like the most lethal leg kicker in the division fighting like the biggest quitter in the division. Like, quite literally, that's
correct.
Proven. So it's like
that's what it is. Burns is a quitter and Jack Jenkins is a finisher.
A savage.
However, Jenkins' finishes aren't one-line deadly shots. They're accumulation finishes. So I do like Burns to survive the 7.5. I like the over 1.5, -110, -115, +105. Those are the numbers I've seen in the ranges. So that's the best number you're going to get in this fight. The only bettable number.
The only way to bet this fight, like the only bettable, like if you're dead set on betting this fight, the money line's untouchable. That's how you find value here. Is that over 1.5? And I totally will co-sign that as well. But yeah, I mean, this next fight, it's crazy. I didn't know the money line on this one. You alluded to it earlier.
Holy shit, this money line is no sense. It's a no bet. It's a 5-star, but it's a no bet.
See, I have it as an actual no bet because I have this as can on can. Like, I have Tom Nolan. I have this as can on can. And for our loyal viewers, you remember my spiel I gave on last week's recap, how I'm never betting a can again, even if they're fighting a worse can. I'm not doing it. So to see this money line, borderline makes me want to take the sprinkle. I'm not going to. This is a no bet for a multitude of reasons. But go ahead and introduce this money line, which I think is kind of ludicrous.
Yeah, man. So Alex Reyes +700, Tom Nolan -1,300. Alex Reyes, the 37-year-old brother of Dominic Reyes at lightweight, so 60 or 50 pounds lighter. Bro, this is one where there's no value. Tom Nolan's going to probably beat the shit out of Alex Reyes, but it's not a full guarantee. And without a full guarantee at -1,300, I don't even want to go near it.
Well, and that's my point. I'm not even trying to make a hot take here. Tom Nolan shouldn't be -1,300 over anybody.
That's really what it is, yeah. I mean, under 1.5 is -350, -310. That was my only bet for this fight because here's my point: is the only time you bet can on can is under, and I've cashed this so many times betting on two guys that don't deserve to be in the UFC not being able to fight for 7.5 minutes without one guy having an egregious error that ends the fight.
I have Tom Nolan power ranked at 91, bro. Now, granted,
bro, that might be the take of my career that I die on. That was the take that got me out to Reno the very first time I ever came out. Because you remember, it was a 4-leg parlay at +1,200 that I ended up cashing because there was an under 1.5 that was +250 that I was like, neither of these guys deserve to be in the UFC. Therefore, they're going to find their way out of here in under 7.5 minutes because they're used to 9-minute fights in their amateur style.
So what's this under set at?
It's dog shit. -310 for under 1.5. But I'm just saying, Vegas caught on. They won't let me have those wins again. That was 3 years ago. But this is one of those fights. I have the exact same sensation in my brain when I see this fight is, this is a 6-minute fight. If that. This could be a 2-minute fight. This could be a 50-second fight.
I'll say this, this is one where, if you were in town and we were at the sports book watching this just, drunk, I'd throw a 5-round Reyes for fucking shits and gigs. Because, like I said, I'll die on the hill that Tom Nolan is at -1,300 over anybody.
It's not a bad,
I'll die on that
not
hill.
A bad point.
Like Billy Walters, if I'm setting this, I'll probably set it at -300, -350. But that's still a wide, value gap Billy Walters, margin. Like I said, I'm not advising anybody to bet on Alex Reyes. I think he's literally on the anti-pound for pound list.
Oh my god, Nolan by KO is -350.
Yeah, I just don't think Nolan is good enough. Nolan isn't I don't know, bro. I don't think Nolan's very good. Maybe I'm wrong. But I mean, for a fight that neither of us are going to bet, we spent a decent amount of time talking on it. We got fights coming up. Only one more that I'm going to be betting on. We got Kenan Song taking on Ricky Glenn. I think this is interesting because Kenan Song was my 51st ranked welterweight. And Glenn, I had at 81 at lightweight. Glenn's moving up from lightweight to welterweight for this one. I like Kenan Song here. He's by no means a world beater, but he's fighting a smaller guy, and the guy was a can in the smaller weight class, taking on a guy who's not perfect, but has held his own at welterweight for some years now. Last time I checked, this line was at Song -175. Is that move?
Minus minus 185, but for the right reasons. I love Song Kanon here.
Me
Love
too.
him.
I got him 3 stars.
I have him 3 stars as well.
6. So, yeah, I mean, no need to really dive and, get super scientific with it. But like I said, my 51st ranked welterweight is taking on my 81st ranked lightweight. Sometimes they give you more than that, but on that one, that's all I'm going to give you. And you juxtapose that with the minus 185 money line, and I think if you follow my logic train, there's value to be had.
Yeah, the parlays are going to be wicked this week. I'm going to have like 7 bettable legs that I can put on there. Also, shout out to Peppermill for crossing over-unders and money lines in case we need to find one of those for some outrageous parlay we build, but probably not going to need it.
Yeah, for sure, man. And then the curtain jerkers, we got Aguilar and Nicholl. Nicholl's making his debut, and I'm not super high on Aguilar. That's a no bet for me all days. I don't really like betting debuts, especially like not Aguilar. Like we bet a debut whenever Tuivasa fought old boy with the tattoos, but that's because we were like very familiar with Tuivasa.
Vucinic? Vucinic? Oh my God! Do you know how sweaty we were together? That shit was crazy. It felt terrible to have done that.
And that was Tuivasa. So there ain't no way in hell I'm betting Aguilar against the debut.
Right. No, I'm with you. This is an absolute no bet. It's not even like a question. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no bet all day, every day. So with that being said, that brings us to our best bet segment, where we got to assemble this parlay. As Harrison was saying, we got a lot to work with this week. So what is our favorites? Our favorites have got to be Santos.
Oh, I don't. Fuck, man.
And Erceg.
I like Gamrot a lot too. I like Rozenstruik a lot. I like Culibao, Santos, Song. I like Izzy for a 2-legger, just to get value out of another guy you like a lot.
Is this a week where we have multiple parlays? Like, do we do like 3 3-leggers?
I think
as opposed to like a monster 8-legger. I think like if we do like 3 3-leggers.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Is like I think this is a parlay week. I think this is a parlay leg week.
So the only question is how to assemble these motherfuckers. Do you want to do like a prelims parlay and a main card parlay? I know we don't usually roll that way.
Let's do a best parlay, and then we can separate into others. But let's get a best overall, and then we can differentiate that way from it.
So Erceg's got to be on my best parlay. I got him 4 stars, minus 170. Like I said, that's like a wet dream for a parlay.
Couldn't agree more.
Also, if you're talking like bankability, Gamrot's got to be on there, especially if you're throwing it with a minus 170.
What is he at? Minus 350.
Minus 350. Then we got a tie between like Culibao, Santos, and Song Kanon.
Okay, well I know how to split this tie. Is Santos, Culibao, Song Kanon. Santos has best value. Culibao is the one I believe in the most at minus 155. I think it's super worth it.
Let's go Culibao then. So what is that 3-legger? We got Erceg, Gamrot, Culibao 3-leg.
So that's going to be minus 170, minus 350, minus 155. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, let's see. Minus 170, minus 155, minus 350, plus 236.
That'll do on a 3-legger that I feel good about. I ain't mad at that. Now, do you want to focus on like see what 4th and 5th legs do, or do you want to try to assemble a completely separate parlay?
I mean, this one I like those 3 so much that I'm very happy to add a 4th leg too. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I'm right with you. Is that 4th leg going to be Santos?
Probably would be for me, which would take it up.
Or I'll be real. I think I'll like
Rozenstruik would be. Rozenstruik would be where I'd probably go here. I really like Rozenstruik. Now that could be like Maybe he's a fifth leg because it was a split stars, 4-2.
We're both pretty bullish on Song at 3.
Yeah, we'll do the minus 185 and see what bones we get. Plus 418.
Yeah, see, I kind of like that a lot. And then we can do like a leftovers parlay where we get like Adesanya, Rozenstruik, and Santos.
Oh, okay. I like where you're going with this one. Adesanya, Rozenstruik, Santos.
3-legger.
What is Santos's number?
Plus or minus 140. Sorry.
All right, that 3-leg is plus 366.
Yeah, I think so. I may do both 3-leggers and the 4-legger.
That's kind of where I think I'm at, and then I might also do a little 2-leg prop parlay in here.
Oh, me too. No, I'm for sure doing one. I'm gonna do Gamrot by decision, Rozenstruik by KO.
Okay, let me put that.
So
one
that's
in.
minus 150.
Both ways, right?
Yep.
All right, so minus 150 and minus 150 plus 178. I do not hate it.
I don't hate it either at all.
That's Rozenstruik, KO, and who else?
And Gamrot by decision.
All right, now let me give you some wild ones here. All right, and I don't think these are ones I'm going to bet, but let me just give you a wild one that I can think of off the top of my head. All right.
Yeah, please do.
Santos by sub, Izzy by KO.
Oh my god.
Why is that crazy?
It's not crazy, but just the fact that you're trying to add more juice to a plus 500 is crazy.
Well, I'm just saying if I'm not going to bet probably Izzy by itself, but I'm going to probably already bet Santos as the dog, but it's like if that's going to cash as the dog, it's going to pay for the bet on if I do 1 unit and 1 unit, it's going to pay for itself and her winning alone. So I might as well sprinkle a little unit there. We'll do plus 300 plus 500 here, just conservatively, plus 2,300.
And that's Izzy by KO parlayed
with Santos by sub.
Yeah, I mean that's the ultimate sprinkle, throw shit at the wall, see if it sticks.
I don't think it is though, right? Is that not both of their paths to victory?
It is. If you're trying to throw some units around,
I'm just saying, like that is the way for 1 unit to be bet, in my opinion. Because we're talking about $10 wins you 230 on that bet, and it's not super unlikely.
No, it is not. Let's see here, and then so we got Gamrot by decision, Rozenstruik by KO. So we got to lock in our straight prop of the week is going to be Santos by submission. Right?
Also though, I just want to say, if you like that 2-leg prop, you could go to Peppermill and add that over under at let's just say plus 100. Let's just say it's even, right?
Talk about Jenkins.
Yeah, the Jenkins over with the Rozenstruik KO and the oh god, what is the other KO I'm trying to think of?
Gamrot by decision.
Gamrot by decision. That's what I'm trying to think of. So those three.
Gamrot decision, Rozenstruik KO, and Jenkins over 1.5. That's what you're talking about.
Yes, yeah, that's plus 456.
Okay, that's interesting. Let's see here. So plus 456.
Yeah, and I that's one where combining two methods with an over-under, that's not terrible.
Yeah, I can see myself doing that one, perhaps. Like I said, Santos by sub, plus 500, plus 650, whatever it ends up being, that's juicy enough for me. So I think our official Beefy Boys parlay, Erceg, Gamrot, Culibao, plus 236. You add on Song Kenon, you get plus 418. Got a little secondary scraps parlay, Adesanya, Rozenstruik, Santos, 3-legger, plus 366. Method of victory, two-legger, Gamrot by decision, Rozenstruik by KO, plus 178. If you add the Jenkins over 1.5, you can bring that up to plus 456. Dog of the week, Jingliang, straight bet, plus 290. So worth the sprinkle, man. Worth the sprinkle. Battle tested.
Just saying, my scumbag parlay, Santos by sub, Izzy by KO, plus 2,300.
Scumbag of the week, yes, sir. Official, prop straight bet of the week is going to be Santos by sub. He said whatever great number you find on that, I think that's worth a sprinkle. And then honorable mention props that I said Harrison might play around with them. I got to figure out if I'm going to incorporate these in or not. But Izzy by KO plus 300, Culibao by KO plus 275. I almost like the Culibao more than the Izzy, which Vegas does too slightly. So I may have to find a way, if I have an extra unit or two laying around, to maybe get a couple of straights in on those bad boys. But
God.
Man, I don't know.
Now you got me. Now you got me trying to maybe change up on Izzy by KO and Culibao. But I might go a little crazy this week and really throw some money at it.
I like those both as straight. Like, I like those both as one unit straight. Izzy by KO plus 300, Culibao by KO plus 275. Like, just additional little one unit kind of tag along straight bets. I know Harrison's going to try to cook something up Walter White style to get some blue crystals out of that. But
yeah, I just can't tell if I want to bet all three individually at one unit and then all three together as a unit, because if any one of them hits, then I've broken even essentially. Like, because if Culibao hits and none of the others do, then at plus 275, then I lose, what is that? Half a unit on that bet on all four across the board. So it's like, that's not the worst. It's just if all four miss.
But I think you also got to try to dial in. I'm going to try to convince you to come over to my side of the tracks. I'm like, I think you need to get on the wave of not having one fighter on more than two tickets. I think that's how you need to like spread it around a little more.
I know.
There's been a couple of weeks in a row when it's just bit you in the ass. One fight.
And what's crazy about that is the 4 parlays I'd be running this week, I don't have any fighter on 3 out of 4. They're all 2 out of 4.
That's the way to do it, brother. That's the way to do it, man. But
that's if I either do Izzy or Culibao there. I could do either.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's gonna. Man, I'm looking forward to this one. First off, we got an actual card that's not horse shit, and B, I feel really good about these bets, man. So yeah, let's cash these tickets. Check us out on X where we kind of like tweet along the fights and tweet our picks and all that about what hits and what doesn't. We'd love to hear from you on X at Beefy Breakdown. We're on Instagram at Beefy Boys Breakdown. Of course, hit subscribe on this YouTube channel. That way you get notified when we drop these videos on Thursdays, typically, sometimes Fridays. And we'll give you our picks for free. And let's cash these tickets, folks, and then we'll be back on Sunday, Monday to recap the fights and talk about, how these all kind of how the cookie crumbled.
Yes, sir. We'll see you guys soon to break these fights down.